Hi, Jeremy.
Hi.
Good to see you again. I remember last time we had you in, we fitted you for some custom shoes for your wedding. But now we want to get the suit in place. Those are still in the works, but they should be in by the time everything's all ready for the wedding, okay?
Perfect.
So first thing I want to do is just retake your measurements since it has been a few months since the last time we've seen you, and just make sure everything's up to date, all right?
Sounds good.
So if you would, just take one small step forward, and I'll have you just take a seat here. I'll start out with the neck and chest area, and I'll take a double check once you stand up again. Any major changes to your sizing or fit?
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay. So if you just put your head up straight, I'm just going to move the hair to the back here. I'm going to measure around the neck. Okay. Okay, I'm going to get just below that. So would you mind just lifting your hair up for me? Thank you. And neck up. Okay. Just going to get from the chin down, so just relax. Same thing on this side. It's symmetrical. I'm going to get down the front. And do you plan on having a bow tie, a tie? Do you have an idea?
I haven't quite decided, but
Okay.
one of them.
I'm definitely going to wear something to enclose the neck. So then I'm just going to get right here as well. Okay, is it an evening event or a daytime event?
It's like middle of the day, into the evening.
Into the evening, okay. So want something that can maybe be a little bit more relaxed while also dressing up formal with some maybe a pocket square tie, something like that. Wonderful, that sounds really nice. I'm going to get the shoulders here. See on that side. Okay. Just about a centimeter shorter on the right side. And get across the back. Get the neck on the back. At this point, I'd like you to stand up. And I'm going to just check a couple of those measurements just across the back here while you're standing. And we do this to make sure that the suit will be comfortable both when you're a little bit more relaxed and when you're standing a little bit more open. So we get across the front. 41. Would you mind just holding this right here? I'm going to drop it down. And I'm looking for finger length here. Okay. Just stay where you are. I'm going to go from the shoulder down here to just about a couple centimeters past the wrist. And that's on the left. Same thing here. right. I'm going to have you just raise this slightly. I'm going to get a few circumferences around the arm itself, starting first with this shoulder. Okay, and then the bicep. Good. And could you move your arm just like that, exactly, just to have the largest extension of the arm here? Thank you very much. And I'll just make my way down here. Just relax. 8, 24, 17. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, starting with the shoulder and relax. Here. Okay. And again, make that shape for me. And relax down. I'm going to get the elbow, 27 and 17. And those are actually very symmetrical side to side as well. I'm going to get just underneath the chest line here. So if you lift your arms for me. Okay, as well as above. All right. I'm going to get the waist and then the hips. So coming on again to the waist. And then just point where your hips are underneath the shirt here. Okay, thank you. All right, perfect. Would you mind just turning around for me, please, Jeremy? I'm just going to get a couple on the back. Just dropping down to the middle here. 60. Okay. And from the shoulder down. Same thing on the side. I'm going to get just under the arm here. And then same sort of areas, just from the back only. And last one here. Very good. So I think the measurements are actually a smidge smaller than what we have on file currently, so I'm glad we're doing a second fitting. Go ahead and turn back around for me. And I'm just going to take a look at the lower half of the body, okay? So I will have you sit again just for a moment, and I'll do this, the measurements seated, and then I'll have you stand and I'll do them standing, okay? All right, so I'm going to take some measurements while you're seating, just a few, to make sure it's completely comfortable and doesn't bunch up too much when you're sitting down, but then we'll get the remainder while you're standing. So I'm first just going to get hip to knee, and then knee to ankle. To get around the seated thigh when it's in the extended position, as well as around the knee. I want to take those same measurements on this side. So again, starting here, starting from the hip rather, down to the knee, knee to the ankle. And then the thigh. Okay. Oh, and then behind the knee as well. Very good. So if you please just stand for me, Jeremy. I'm just going to take the last few measurements that we need. And we'll do some try-ons. So again, just point to where that hip starts for me underneath the shirt here. Thank you so much. Getting a full extended. Okay, and would you hold that right at the top of your inseam there? Okay. There you go. That's perfect, and that's the same as what we already have on file. So I don't think you've gotten any taller since the last time we've seen you, at least. The inside for me, please. Okay. And I'll just take those measurements again while you're standing. And lastly, the ankle here. All right, go ahead and have a seat comfortably. I'm going to be asking a few questions about the suit itself. Now that we have all the measurements, did you have a specific style or color in mind, or texture, anything like that, or would you like to see a few samples?
I'd like to see a few samples.
Okay. Nothing specific, or?
Probably just a darker color.
Okay, so darker colors. Let me grab a few color samples that we have, and we can drape them over you and sort of see how you're liking them. So I have quite a few different style colors, or different colors here, but this won't be the fabric necessarily, okay? So we've got just a burgundy like this. There's actually a mirror right here if you want to look over there, just like that. What do you think of that?
That's okay.
It's okay? All right, so it's possible. A darker blue, a navy blue here. So that's similar to actually the color you're wearing now, but it's got a little bit more pop of color to it.
I like that.
Like that as well. Okay, so a lot of good options so far. This is going to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Maybe too much. And then we have more of a traditional black. This is going to be very tux-like.
Yeah, not for this.
You want something more colorful, fun.
Yeah.
Okay. And then lastly, we have a pretty vibrant green. We can do this a little bit darker, but it's kind of a nice jewel tone.
Yeah, I always like green.
You always like green? Okay. Which of these for now are you feeling the most excited about? We'll just grab a sample in that color.
Let's just do the green.
The green, all right. So first I will just have you drape a white dress shirt over what you're wearing here, just to take a look at what sizing we need on those. We generally just do some small, medium, large kind of sizing on the dress shirt. We'll make sure it fits absolutely perfectly. So I think based on your measurements, this is going to be a small, is going to be the best bet for you. So again, I'll just have you drape this over what you're currently wearing. It will allow more blank canvas for the suit itself. But if you did want to do a non-white dress shirt underneath, we could definitely make that for you. So go ahead and stand up. And you can just put that on. I'll button it for you. And that does look to be the proper sizing. Maybe a little long in the arms, so I'll just button this and we'll make a note of that. Just do a few here. Okay. Again, just pushing aside. Does that feel comfortable, that fit on you for the most part? We'll just take a look here. So this is the traditional small. We'll just make a couple of notes and adjustments to this. So I think it's just a smidge too long. It should be just about here. So say we want to do about 2.5, 3 centimeters there. So that hits you a little bit more naturally. And I think it's going to be pretty similar on the other side. Maybe only 2 centimeters on the other side. Okay, I'm looking at the shoulders here. I think it fits you pretty well in the shoulders. There's not a lot of extra room here. I actually would think maybe you're just a little bit more muscular in the shoulders than the shirt is made for. So we'll just add 1.5 centimeters to the shoulder. Okay, and looks really good in the arms. It should flow a little bit. Check this side. Same thing on this side. A little loose is not generally a problem. It's more comfortable and it's not enough where it's going to bunch underneath the suit. Looking at the neck, if it were closed, probably could use about 0.5 centimeter on the neckline there. And the shirt will obviously be tucked in, and I think that that's fine actually. Hits you in the right places. All right, so let me go grab a sample of the suit that we have, and I'll have you change into it, okay? It's not going to fit you perfectly, it's just going to be the closest we have in the store right now to your size.
Sounds good.
All right, so I pulled this one from the back. I've got it labeled for you. So this one is that really bright green. So we can pretty much dye the fabric or source the fabric to any particular color you want. So if this feels a little too light, we can go darker. If this feels a little too dark, we can go lighter, but it'll give us a sense. So I will start with the jacket, and then I'll have you put the pants on afterwards in the dressing room. So just one hand in there. And there you go. So this one's definitely a little bit too big for you. Just stand right there for me. In fact, if you don't mind just turning a little. So right now that's, I would say, we want it more like hit right about there, right about halfway down the back. So that's the difference of, just pin that really quickly. I think we would want it about here. About 3.5 centimeters. Yep, fits you pretty nicely in the shoulders, maybe a little bit extra here. And take that down about 1.5 centimeters. And let's see here, the arms are too long. We want that about there, so that is. 3.5 centimeters. And the collar is just a smidge short, especially with the shirt being a little bit longer, so add just a little bit of height there. All right, turn around for the front for me, please. Just be careful, there is a pin in the back. In fact, let me remove that quickly so you don't poke yourself. So I actually think the color is very nice on you. Non-traditional, but very nice. Looks good with your skin tone. Again, it is just a little bit long in the front, but not by too much, but ideally it would be fitting a little better up this way. You can see it's bunching up right here, so I think we would need to so I think we would need to take it in a little bit here, at least 4 centimeters. Really should fit more like that. Taking a look at the rest of it. Again, I just think it's a little big overall, but not terrible. What do you think of the lapels? Do you like the thinner lapels, or would you want something a little wider?
I think that's fine.
That's nice, okay. So we'll see, these ones are about 6.5 centimeters and 8 centimeters at their largest, down to about, okay, so 8 centimeters tapered, that's nice, we'll keep that. You can go ahead and remove that unless there's anything else you want to remark about it. How do you feel in it?
Besides the fitting, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The color, how are you feeling about the color?
The color, I do like it. It might be a little light.
A little light? Maybe a darker green then?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Okay. All right, go ahead and remove that, and you can remove the shirt as well, and I'll have you just place the pants on, okay? All right, Jeremy, so we've got the pants on here. And again, just a little bit long. Let me just hold these here. And you probably want them a little bit longer than this because you'll have the shoe that we ordered for you has a slight lift. Mm-hmm. So I think these are pretty much correct, maybe about 1 centimeter or so, just to make them absolutely hit perfectly, but they are not too far off. And just looking at the rest of it, I think we can raise the inseam just a little bit as well. And there's just a little big in the waist. Would you mind turning around for me, please? So again, I think a little bit big here in the back. We can trim those up a little bit, fit you better. How do these ones feel? Look at in the mirror.
Yeah, I like these.
You like these? Okay.
Other than the changes with the fit.
Okay. Well, I'll have you go back and change back into your regular clothes now. I'll make a note of all of this into our system, but I do want to still show you a couple of accessories, some ties, some pocket squares, things like that, all right?
Sounds good.
So I will set this back in the back, and then let's go ahead and take a look at some of the types of ties we have. These are not by no means the only colors or patterns. We have lots and lots to choose from, but these are going to be samples of different textures, different types of sheen, as well as different sizes side to side, so different width of size, okay? All right, so if you went with a green suit, you may want to consider a tie that doesn't clash, but in this case, let's just take a look at different texture options. So what we have This one is pink, but as you can see, it has a little bit of a additional fabric texture on there of these dots, and a little bit of a shimmer as well. What do you think about the texture like that?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's nice. Okay, not necessarily speaking to you. So next we have, we're going to have ties that are going to have a little bit of a shine to them that actually have that sort of 3D effect to the pattern. Do you like florals? Is that something you gravitate towards?
I do like that.
Okay.
I like the pattern.
You like the pattern. Again, pink probably not the right color for a green suit if we go with that. But you do like the feel of it. It's that nice silk threaded. Okay. And then what about the width of this one is quite a bit wider.
Yeah, maybe a little bit skinnier.
A little bit. Okay, so let's just for fun, this one is going to be sort of one of the widest ones we offer. So that is obviously considerably wider, right? So that's not something you're interested in.
No.
Okay. So we do have this thinner tie that has florals on it here. So this is going to be on the thinnest side of what we offer. Very sleek, just overall very, very flattering and sort of draws the eye inwards. So what do we think of this?
Yeah, I like this one.
I like this one a lot. We actually have a matching pocket square of this one, so that might be a nice combination. So we can do essentially, it would look like that. The other option would be to go with a pop of color with the pocket squares. So, for example, if you went with a very plain tie, so a traditional black tie, traditional width, we could do something like this, a real silk handkerchief square that has a real pop of color, something like that.
That's nice.
How that feels. So that's like a light silk. It's very airy. It's very fun. And this comes in all sorts of patterns as well. So is anything particularly drawing your interest? Style, type, combination?
I do like the floral pattern and probably something on the darker side like that to not clash with the suit.
Like this. Okay, so this one is probably your top one so far, right? Right, so I'll go ahead and just pull some images of in our books here that are similar to that, so you can have a few to choose from, and I can send you those digitally, okay? So you like floral, but on the thinner side, and we can show you both contrasting but complementary pocket squares, and the matching ones usually come as well. I'll make a note if any of them don't have matching pocket squares, but we can usually make them. Okay, so what I have on my list of things to do is to get the suit in a couple of different darker color options, send you those samples as well as some samples of the ties and pocket squares that can be combinations, but I do have all your measurements now, and we are going to get your perfect groomsman suit made for you, okay?
Thank you so much.